Alrighty y'all, welcome back to another video or live stream here on Let's Build Twitter. We are back at it again. This one may or may not be a little bit shorter, but I do have a plan for today. Hopefully we can get it done. So the first thing, we need to probably move this guy because it's not quite where we want it. But the first thing that I want to deal with is as we scroll down this list here, whenever we hit this animals in nature, it should go ahead and swap over. So we basically need to, I think it's called like an interceptor or something like that. Basically what we need to do is we need to watch for each one of these to come to view. So like for example, if smileys and people is in view and the animals is not in view, for example, or basically if smileys and people is in view, then we want it to be in smileys and people. And then if our animals and nature is in view but smileys and people and the hamburger one's not in view, we want it to be that, so on and so forth. So we are going to do a little bit of research. So JavaScript, I think we're going to say like JavaScript detect when element is in view or something like that. And we're going to just kind of look, and then hopefully we'll be able to switch these around, because right now obviously this already works as we want. But we want to be able to actually switch. And then the other thing that we want to look into is whenever we type in here, and then whenever we click on one of these, we need it to be able to display the image instead of the emoji, because some of these emojis aren't actually supported on Windows. So then it won't work properly. Excuse me for a second. So then it won't work properly, so on and so forth. So we need to deal with that. So let's go ahead to see. So we're either going to have a couple ideas. Either A, we're going to basically have a paragraph tag that goes right over this that mirrors exactly what we're typing in here, right? And then anytime we click on an emoji, it'll read that emoji and convert it. Or the other option is to make a custom paragraph tag that acts differently, which is going to be the harder option. but it is what it is, and I just messed up. So JavaScript detect when an element is in view. So let's just go ahead and take a look at how we could possibly do this. So let's go back into our emoji dropdown.tsx, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to put on some sort of watcher or something on each one of these IDs here, or each one of these H2s. That way we can know whenever they are actually in view. Let's see, is scroll view. Let's see here, page top, scroll top, page bottom. That's not quite what I want, because let's see, detect JavaScript, detect if a header is visible. So we did this somewhere, but I don't remember where we did this at, because not really in viewport. We just want to see if you could see it. I mean, maybe viewport, but the problem is that we don't really want it in the viewport. We want it to see if it's, you know, visible inside this drop down selector, and that's kind of the difficult thing. We could get the bounding rect, I guess, so that is possible. So we could get, I guess that's possible. We could get the bounding, except we don't, well, yeah, we might be able to do that. So let's try this maybe. How do we want to do this? So the thing that I was thinking is we do this observer thing. So let me pull this over. So there's this observer that is an intersection observer that checks to see if entries is intersecting, and then we can observe each element, right? And we did this for something. I don't remember what we did this for. Let's look up a JavaScript observer. JavaScript observer. Let's see if we can find any other information. Intersection observer. So Mozilla docs. So implementing intersection is in the past of the involved handlers and getting client rect, yada yada yada, which we could do that probably. So let's see here, create an intersection observer, and it calls a callback with some options, and then the root is the scroll area, margin 0, threshold 1. I'm not sure what threshold 1 does, but the scroll area in our case would be the whatever this is, so emoji drop down selector. So maybe we have an ID equal to emoji scroll area, maybe. And then according to this, what we can do is we create the observer, and then let's see what it says. And then you have the list items, and then you observe the target. So can we observe multiple targets? So let callback, and then each entry describes an intersection change for one observed target. So every time something changes, so let's see what happens if we go ahead and just set this up and see what we can get with this. So I'm just gonna copy this, and I don't know if this is gonna work inside React the way that I'm thinking it will, but we'll see what happens. So let's go ahead and just paste it in here. Observer is declared, but it's never read. That's fine. Options might have to be a state. So let's say const observer options, and set observer options. Just want to play it safe. Use state, and Maybe we make a quick interface, although that's kind of weird because it's a root document query selector scroll area. So maybe let's just set this up and then we can try to reactify it later. I suppose I'm not that concerned about it being like super reacty. I just want it to work first, and then we can deal with the rest. The rest later. Oh my goodness, I got the hiccup. So let's deal with this, and that's fine. And we have this observer, and then we need the callback. So the callback would be maybe because we have active category, right? So we do want to set the active category to whichever. So I'm trying to think of what we want to call this. Maybe we call this I don't know why I can't think. Let's call this my brain's just going blank. We'll call it calculate and category, because that's what we're going to be doing with this. We're going to be calculating whichever category we're currently in, and I'll just put it below here. So const calculate category is equal to this, and I don't know if this takes in anything. So if we come back into our Brave, let's see what the thing looks like. So it takes in entries in the observer. So let's go ahead and do that. So copy this, and I'm guessing the entries are just the targets, but again, I'm not 100% sure. So let's come back into here and let's make sure that this gets past the entries in the target or observer, and it's going to complain because, and I'm just going to go ahead and say any on this because I have no idea what the type is. I think this is like, I'm guessing entry is like a HTML element and observer is something else. But now let's see if we can at least kind of see when things go in and out. Is this still a problem? I might have spelled something right. Calculate category and calculate category. No, was used before is defined. Okay. I guess let's just call this function. That way it at least gets brought to the top and it doesn't complain. Function calculate category. Okay, there we go. We'll go ahead and bring that up to the top. That's fine. We could probably go ahead and, make that an inline function, but it is what it is. So now we have our observer. So let's see if we can get an entry, and we might also encapsulate this into its own function as well, setting up this observer and then put it into a use effect or something. That might be something we clean up later. So according to this, we should be able to say observer observe target. So let's see if we can't get access to the target. So instead of list item, let's go ahead and scroll down here and let's throw an ID on this one. So ID equal to smileys and people maybe, and let's see if this works. So copy this and let's throw it in here to smileys and people, and then observe target. Argument type element or null is not assignable of type element. So can I do this? Whoops. This might end up being difficult. So target type element or null is not assigned with type element. Type null is not assigned with type element. Is it because this could be null? Of course, we can't say any here because we can't say any. Okay, so again, not best practice here, TypeScript, but let's at least see if we can get something working here, right? So now I'm pretty sure what it did So it says entries dot for each entry, and then you do something here. So let's copy this, and I don't remember exactly what we did with this. And there's some thresholds here. So we want like, yeah, we'll have to deal with this. So this is a counter for each. If entry is intersecting, then we can get the target. Okay, let's do that. And then if it's greater than or equal to 75. So let's see what happens here and see how this looks. And we might have to figure out a little bit more, but let's paste this in. If entry, oh, I didn't grab the for each. So let's grab the for each. I know I'm kind of cheating here. Entries dot for each. Let's copy this and then let's paste it in here. So for each entry, and we'll just say any again, just to get it off our back. We'll get the element, and then maybe we just console.log element, comma, and then we'll say comma elm, comma is intersecting. And let's see what we can get here. I know that there's some like finicky stuff with this, so it may or may not work exactly how we want right off the bat, and it's broken. Let's see, console, what's the problem? Observe, parameter 1 is not an element. Let's see. Okay, so it's a TypeScript issue. I guess let's change this back to element, and we'll say I'm guessing it's because query selector could return an element or null. So I guess we'll say question mark, and then actually we'll just say this. So if this is not equal to null, I guess, a little bit annoying, then we'll let target equal to that. And it's still complaining, even though we literally checked to make sure it wasn't null. I love TypeScript so much. It's the best. The best part is I don't remember where we set this up at either, but it's complaining because observe is not a element. If we refresh here, type error, failed to execute on observe, parameter 1, so line 28. Yeah, it doesn't like that the target is not technically a element, I guess, which is annoying because this should just work. What to do, and I don't remember where we did this at, because we definitely set this up somewhere, but we have so much stuff in here that I can't be asked to look through each and every one of these to remember exactly where we put this at. Because yeah, I don't remember where we put it. So this is an issue. Document.get element by ID. Does this one also return null? This one returns an HTML element or null. I guess we'll say element or null, and then we'll say if target is not equal to null, then it can't be, it has to be an element. Okay, well I guess that does it. So right now it should be intersecting. Yeah, it's intersecting, and it's and then it should stop now. So the issue is that it just spams it over and over again, as you can see. So, excuse me. So we don't want it to really spam like that. So what we need to do is we need to check to see if active category is equal to oh wait, I already have an ID on this, smileys and people. Wait a second, I do, or is that a different one? Where is this ID at? Category active. Okay, I do have an ID, but I want smileys and people header or something. I mean, maybe I could also use this. Let's see what happens if I use this. This might also work. And let's come back up here and put it inside of here. It's kind of weird how it's like, you know, has spaces, but maybe it'll work. So if we refresh, so right now it's saying undefined. I don't know what that's printing at 228. So yeah, so I don't think this one is working, even though the smileys and people should definitely be active. So I think I am going to want to go ahead and put it back on that div. It was worth a shot. I'm going to say smileys and people header like that. That way it's more clear what it is as well, just to be safe. And let's go ahead and put update this as well. So if we come back into here, we want the ID equal to smileys and people header. And then let's go ahead and make sure that this is still working. So we come in here and refresh. Yep, you can see that it is, you know, printing. So basically what we want to do, and it should stop printing as soon as we get here. So basically what we want to do is we want to see if, okay, so how do we want to do this? Because right now we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yada yada yada. We need to basically check. So if an entry is intersecting, we want to get the target, right? And then we want to get the target's ID. So let ID equal to element.id. Assuming that this works, maybe we console.log the ID as well to make sure that this is what we expect. So if we come back in here and let's make sure smileys and people header, it's printing off over and over again. So basically what we'll do is we'll say, let's go ahead and convert. I don't want to, here's the thing, I don't want to basically redo this code, because basically what we need to do is a switch statement just like this, where we convert the we basically need to convert this ID into something else. So like we basically need to say like if the how do we want to do this? How do we want to do this? Because we could do if statements where it's like if the ID is equal to, it would be smileys and people header, right? Then we could have like a let category number equal to 1 or something. Well, I don't know if we want it 1. Well, yeah, it should start out as 1. That should be fine. So then if ID is equal to smileys and people header, then we I guess say category number equal to 1, like that. And it's gonna complain because it is what it is. We do like the same thing. If ID is equal to animals and nature header, then category number would equal to 2. And then what we could do is say if the category number is not equal to is it just, yeah, if it's not equal to active category, so if we move to a different one, then we can set active category to the category number. Again, I don't know if this is going to work or not. So now what we need to do is we need to add this ID in here. So our animals and nature ID is equal to animals and nature header. And then inside of here, we also need to grab our animals and nature. So we'll say let animals in nature element be an element, or null equal to document.query selector, and then this will be equal to animals and nature header, and then we'll say if the animals and nature element is not equal to null, we'll say observer.observe, and we'll observe the animals and nature element. So we'll probably go ahead and extract this into a function with the options and the observers and everything. But theoretically, what should happen is once we get out of here and get into seeing this header, theoretically it should switch to 2. We shouldn't print over and over again, basically. So let's see if this works. I don't have high hopes. So that did glitch out a bit because it sees both. So I think we need to, basically we need another check. So like if ID is this, and although it's hitting both, right? So how are we gonna deal with that? Because it's hitting both entries, so we almost need to make sure it's like 100% or something like that. So threshold is 1 right now. What happens if we say threshold is 0? And this might make it worse. That's going to be an issue. Because we have 2 at the same time. So we need to make sure that we only select 1, and we want it to be the bottom one, I think. Because if I scroll, I don't think it selects the animals and nature until it's all the way in view. right? So we need to, I think, check to see if the previous one is completely out of view first, and then set it. So we need to be like, and although we can't because the entry here, we don't have access to the previous entry. So this one is an interesting issue. What do we do whenever they're both in view? Let me think about this. We need a way of knowing the previous, I guess. So like, we need a way of knowing if previous was also intersecting. So like, we almost need like a let is previous intersecting, right? And maybe we set that to false to start. And we need a way of basically keeping track of, like it says, if the previous one is intersecting. So maybe what we do instead, maybe we make an array, right? Let's say maybe we make an array where it says let intersecting equal to this, right? And then if this one, then intersecting one, or yeah, let's just go ahead and say intersecting one is equal to 0. Except I spelled intersecting wrong. Intersecting. So intersecting 1 is equal to true. This is kind of ugly, but intersecting 2 is equal to true, right? So then we'll set all of the ones that are intersecting. Although this should probably be an if else. So this, yeah, this probably needs to be an if else. So it's gonna get kind of ugly, because we do want to check every single one. So there's probably a better way to do this, but it is what it is. So intersecting 1 will equal to false. And then we'll do the same thing. If, and then ID, I guess we already have this if statement. So this is going to be fairly ugly, but I think it'll work dealing with this intersection issue, because we need to keep track of which ones are active by looping through here, right? Else the intersecting 2 will equal to false. And then basically what we want to do is at the end of this function, at the end of this callback, every single time, we'll basically say like for we want to find the first one that's true, right? So we might need another function, let find first true equal to a callback, or a function basically. And we'll say like for let I of intersecting and has any type, I don't care. Let I, why does that matter? I don't know why that matters. Make sure this, I guess I'll say Boolean, and that made it worse. I love this. Intersect never is not type this. let's see, explicit has any type of one, cannot be used. Oh, whoops. There we go. Okay, cool. Let I of intersecting, if I is equal to true, we'll just return, shoot, this needs indexed. So let's say for let I equal to 0, I is less than intersecting dot length, and then I plus plus. We need an index here, and then if intersecting I is true, we'll return I, and then we'll say then we'll go ahead and do set active category to find first true, and this will return a number. And now it's mad because it might not return a number. I guess if it doesn't find anything, we'll just return 0. And then we'll, if we have to, set that to 0, which I don't think will happen. And then I guess we don't need the category number, right? So we're just gonna set the category to the first one that we see active. I don't know if this is gonna work, and this is really ugly, but we'll see what happens here. So let's go ahead and try this out, I guess. So right now, so it's not quite working the way that I want it to. I mean, it's not flickering back and forth like it was, so that's obviously good, but it prematurely goes to animals and nature. I mean, that was a little bit sketchy. So why is it not finding the first one is my question. If intersecting I is equal to true. Oh, you know what? Shoot. I guess it wouldn't hurt to reset these to false every time, would it? Because every time this gets called, intersecting should... So the issue is that we're still resetting the other ones to false because it's if else, I think. Let's see. There's a little bit of a glitchiness there. So there is a little bit of glitchiness, but honestly, I'm fine with it. I'm not that concerned about it. I'm wondering if this is like not quite working the way that I want it to, but again, I'm not that worried. I think this is probably fine. It's a little bit glitchy, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and do this. Yeah, we need to add the IDs for the rest of these. So this one will be ID equal to food and drink header. Put the ID on activity. So ID, whoops, is activity header, and then throw it on this one. ID is equal to travel and places header. Okay, this one ID equal to objects header. This one ID equal to symbols, whoops, symbols header, and then ID equal to flags header. Now again, I'll encapsulate all these into a function. I don't know if know if this can be a function that's extracted, so it is what it is. So after animals and nature, we have food and drink. So food and drink be an element, or null equal to document dot query selector. I probably could have done a class on this, which I do have a class, I guess. I could probably get a list of all elements, right? Query selector returns only an element or null. Can we say document dot query selector all? We can. We could say let headers equal to, and this will be, I'm guessing, an element, array, or null. Well, never mind. It's a node list of something. So how do we deal with that? It's an HTML element, or it says 57 more. I guess let's just see what happens. We say headers equal to query selector all, and then we should be able to say dot emoji drop down selector title, and we can grab the IDs off of them, so that's fine as well. So let's see if we can grab these. So we should be able to say dot that, and then grab those headers. And then what if we say headers dot for each element? Can we say if the element is not equal to null, can we say observer dot observe, and then observe the element? Okay, it's not complaining. It says it'll work. Okay. So that means we can get rid of these. We don't need this. So that cleans that up quite a bit. Now we still have all the IDs to deal with in these if statements, unfortunately, which we can just do this, and it'll be cleaned up a little bit at the very least. So that is okay, I guess. So then if ID is equal to food and drink, header, we'll say intersecting 3 is equal to true. And then let me pull open Twitter so I can see these. So first, animals and nature, food and drink, then activity. So if ID is equal to activity, header, intersecting 4 will equal true. Again, this is ugly, but it is what it is. If ID is equal to activity, travel and places, header, intersecting 5 is equal to true. There's probably a better way to do this. It is what it is. This series is all about just trying things and figuring things out. After travel and places, we have objects. So objects header. That's why I did this whole series in the first place. was to learn and figure things out and reverse engineer. So whatever works, honestly. I'm not that concerned about it. If ID is equal to symbols, header, then our intersecting 7 will equal to true. And then finally, if ID is equal to our, this one should be flags, yep. Flags, intersecting 8 will equal true. And it should reset these all to basically false. We'll return whatever we get, and then we'll set active category to find the first true. So let's see if we can get it to work. So smileys and people is open as we expect, and there's a bunch of issues, whatever. Okay, animals and nature did glitch out a little bit. Food and drink, activity, travel and places does not work, so that means I scuffed something in travel and places. So let's take a look. Travel and places header, I must have spelled something wrong. ID, yep, travel and places header. Let's try it out now. Okay, now it's on. Objects, that one's really glitchy. Symbols and flags I scuffed as well. So flags header, let's see what's going on with flags header. Whoops, flags header. Now there's probably a better way to do this. I'm not sure what it'd be, but you know what? I think I'm content with this. It's not gonna be perfect, but honestly, whatever. It does what we want. We can click around. This one is broken, but it is what it is. So there we go. We can click around, it works. So now we need to go ahead and make it so that we can actually click and add. And let's also refresh to see if these errors are still here. No. So also, let's really quickly, let's go ahead and throw these into a function. And then put it into the use effect to run, I guess. So we'll say, on setup observer, I guess. Or I guess we'll set setup header observer. And this should be legal in here, I'd imagine. We can grab this out of here and clean this up a little bit. Throw this into setup header observer. That should be fine. Let's bring in, we already have use effect, so let's go ahead and grab use effect. We just want this to run once. All right. And we'll call set up header observer. All right, so let's make sure it works. Scroll down. The bear's there. Okay, animals and nature is broken for some reason. Food and drink works. So what happened to animals and nature? Animals and nature header. Why are we skipping over animals and nature? Just whenever I thought everything was good, so I mean, it could be calling it twice, I guess. So I guess we're not gonna put it in the use effect. Maybe there's something funky going on. Whoops, I'm sorry. So we won't put it in the use effect, I guess. We'll just call it at the top. It just doesn't feel right to have this just chilling here like this, but I guess it is what it is. We'll just leave it because it was working better this way. So if we scroll again, it was a little bit less glitchy, but whatever, it is what it is. And we can look into that, see why it's glitchy, stuff like that, but again, not that concerned about it. So now we want to be able to click. Ooh, and that clicks off of this. Or does it? No, it doesn't. Okay. So now we need to add on clicks to basically all of these that add this to the tweet or the post. And I think that's inside of a store somewhere. So we're going to have to update the store with that. And also we need a way of actually mapping, which I'm not worried about mapping it, I guess, yet. Let's just go ahead and set up the we'll say const append emoji to post. All right, and how do we want to deal with this? We have the emoji. We have the emoji name there. It's not going to help very much. And we have the emoji image here. And the issue is that some of the emojis obviously have different like skin tones and whatnot. I'm tempted to, like, I don't know if we use this emoji.name in the ID. I'm tempted to say excuse me. For the emoji, I'm tempted to say emoji.emoji, but I don't know if that'll necessarily work the way that I'm thinking it will. So this, I guess, is going to be a little bit more difficult than I thought. So I guess what we might need to do is we have the emoji name and we also have the current skin tone. So we could get the correct emoji. So let's go into our emoji utils and let's say export const get emoji character by name and modifier, right? So this will take in a name string and a modifier string. All right. So basically what we'll do is we'll first search by name. So we'll just go, how do we want to do this? How do I want to do this? I guess for let emoji, and I'm pretty sure we have this guy, so let emoji say for let excuse me, let e in emojis, and then if e dot, I swear that's how you do it. Is it e? Oh no, wait, it is. We do want e of, and then we want e dot name is equal to name, If this is the case, emoji will equal to E. So then we have that. And then what is your problem? Whoops. Let's fix this. All right, there. So then we have the emoji. What is your problem? E is assignment, emoji assignment never used. That's fine. So now we have the skin tone. So we need to say if emoji dot modifiers, because if there's no modifiers, dot length is equal to 0. And let's also, I guess, just make sure if emoji got set, that's what it's complaining about. If emoji not equal to undefined, still complaining. Let me guess, it could be undefined, is used before being assigned. It's not, because you're not going to like that either. What if we say emoji or undefined? What is the error now? Expression expected. I don't know what your problem is. What is the problem? That's closed. Okay, whatever. I don't know what the deal is. All right. So if we have an emoji, because it could be undefined, I guess. If we have an emoji, we will also check to see if the modifiers.length is equal to 0. If that's the case, then we're just going to return the emoji.emoji. So if there's no modifier, we'll deal with that. And then otherwise, if there is, otherwise, we'll say else. Let's also do this. So if this or what's the other option? I think the other modifier technically is none. I think we can set none in there, but I'm not 100% sure. Current, it's an empty string. Or modifier is equal to an empty string. Return this emoji. I think that'll work. Otherwise, what we'll do is we will say let modifier. Ooh, that's fine. Modifier number equal to convert modifier to index. Pass in the modifier, say -1 because we didn't 0 index it. And then what we'll say is return emoji dot modifiers, and then modifier number. Right. And then it'll complain. If then we'll just return nothing if it doesn't work, and this will return a string. Whoops. So we'll either return the emoji.emoji if there's no modifiers available, or if the modifier is empty string. Otherwise, we'll do this. And I don't know. I know that down here is where we set the modifiers. So I think it does still say none. So let's just throw this in here for, just to be safe. So then we can return the emoji character by name of modifier, and we have the name, we have the modifier available. So now on click, we should be able to pin the emoji to post. Say E is a React dot, and whoops, react.click event or mouse event on a HTML div element, I think. HTML div element. Let me double check that these are divs. So generate and maps a div. Yep. So these are div elements. So we need the ID because that's going to be the name. So let name equal to e dot current target dot ID. Get the name, and then we will say let emoji equal to, and we'll bring in this guy. So get emoji by name and modifier, and paste him in, and then we have the name, then we have our current skin tone, and then let's go ahead and import this guy. And I just want to double check. So current skin tone, set current skin tone, and then I want to make sure that this is what we're setting. So select skin tone e.target.id, and then select skin tone. Okay, so that should be fine. We're pinning the emoji to the post. Let's just console.log the emoji and make sure it looks how we expect. Maybe, there we go. And to start, let's just throw it on this guy. So on click is a pinned emoji to post, which obviously just prints right now, and we should be fine. And the thing that I'm curious about is I want to make sure that the skin tones and everything like that's fine. Okay, so just put emoji. Oh, I'm stupid. No wonder why I just put emoji. Because I put emoji as a string. Okay, let's try again. Give it a good refresh. And this guy needs to be changed as well. So that looks fine. So if we come down here. Okay, so we're getting undefined on these. So that's no bueno. What if we change colors? So changing the colors is fine. Yeah. So with this one, wait, that one worked. That one worked. That one worked. I swear that just said undefined, did it not? Undefined, undefined. Is it because I changed this back from none? So I think we changed that back to none and it probably fixes it. Right? Cool. So that looks good. Seems like it's working fairly well. And changing colors. Seems like it's changing the colors with the skin tones. So looks good. So now we just need to put this on all of them, and I'm sure there's probably a bug here or there. It's probably not perfect, but it is what it is. So now we can, and I just realized I don't have Redux DevTools installed, and I don't think I ever got Redux DevTools working inside of whatever this is called, Brave. And I don't know if I necessarily want to install Chrome on my newly fresh PC. We'll see. But we'll see if we can figure stuff out here. So that should be everything. So we should be able to append the actual emoji thing itself, whatever you want to call it, the icon, whatever, to the, well, we don't actually append to the post because we need to update current post, and I forget how we actually do that. So we obviously need a dispatch. So let's go ahead and bring in use dispatch. So import use dispatch. We also need app dispatch. Let's go ahead and bring in app dispatch. And then let's go ahead and take a peek inside of our Redux slices and then our post slice, because I kind of forget what this looks like. We have update post, so that probably is what we're gonna want, is update post. I'm assuming that's probably what we use inside of our other thing. So let's go ahead and bring in I'm guessing there's just an update post down here. Let's see. Update current post. Yep. Cool. Yeah, let's go ahead and bring in update current post as well. So let's I don't care it gets imported. That import update current post from our Redux. Redux slash slices slash post slice. Cool. So let's go ahead and say I think I normally do it here. Let dispatch be an app dispatch equal to use dispatch. And then let's come back down here at our append, and we will dispatch, and we're going to dispatch an update current post. And update current post takes in the I forget what this takes in. It takes in like a value. So name is going to be like post content or something like that. So we want to, what does post have on it? Can I open this? I don't know how to open it because I'm dumb. Go into our global interfaces. So post image, post, it's called the content. So we'll update content, and I guess we need the original content as well, right? Because we're just appending it to the end. So I guess we do need use selector and root state. Hopefully this doesn't scuff anything, but we'll go ahead and say whoops. We'll also say let, and then we'll just say post let. Current post could be empty though. Whatever. Current post equal to use selector. We'll deal with it later. States, root states, states dot post, and we're gonna go ahead and say current post. And then what we'll say is come down here, and we want to make sure post is current post is a thing. So make sure our current post is good. And let me say value. Oops. Value. And this. So I do have my live stream schedule in my, or not comments, but inside my description. And I try to announce every single Let's Build Twitter video, so it should be somewhat known. It's gonna be about this time every Tuesday and Thursday. So if the current post, say let our post content equal to current post dot content, and then what we're gonna dispatch is we'll dispatch is let updated content equal to post content plus the emoji, and then we'll go ahead and pass in the updated content, right? So now the issue is going to be whenever we click on this, it should dispatch and work, but some of them aren't supported by Windows. So then it's going to look really weird and funky. So let's see if we can even get this to work and everything is working as we expect. And then we can move forward with dealing with the other part that the issue is going to be. So hello, and we put like the smiley face. Okay, nothing happened. Interesting. Oh, you know what though? I don't think this is actually displaying. Let's do this. So let's actually throw a use effect in here. And then let's watch current post dot content. Right, and then we'll console dot log the current post dot content. We also should maybe watch the current post just to be safe. And we'll say if, because current post could be null. So if current post, then we'll go ahead and do that. I don't want to crash the app because I'm trying to print out something that's undefined. So we click on this, that should start that. So as you can see, we're typing in here, hit a space, hit this. So that is going in as we expect. Now some of them might not work. So like, I'm trying to think which one. I think the, which one, what was it called? I don't think this one works. No, that one does work. That one works. I'm trying to see which one doesn't work. That one works, I guess. I guess I'm just wasting my time. I thought the one with like circle eyes or something didn't work, but it does. As you can see, that deletes all of them, which obviously we don't want to do. So we need to update this to actually display those. So let's go ahead and try to figure that out. I don't know if we have enough time tonight to get it completely done, but we can at least get a start on it. So let's go back into the, so I don't know where this is at. I'm guessing it's inside features, and then it's not scheduled post. Is it inside landing? Components. It's not inside landing page. It's inside feed. Okay, it's inside feed. Feed post, creator, and it might just be creator. Oops, feed post creator. And what is your problem? I don't care. Okay. Let's see. So yeah, so we have the auto grow here, and the content is just dispatching, and then I'm guessing the value inside here. So if we scroll down to our actual box here, text area, we have a ref. We don't have a value though, and I don't know if this will break. Value equal to, and what do we call this? I'm trying to see what we call it. State. So I guess to be like state dot post dot current post dot whatever. And the issue is that state dot post dot current post question mark. So that's the case, state dot post dot current post dot content. Otherwise, I think we've got to have a post content, yeah. Otherwise, we'll just display post content. Let's see if this works for the value, and let's see if we can at least see emojis going in there. Again, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna overlay a paragraph tag. So basically, we'll make this hidden, and then do some other stuff with it, and then hopefully it'll work. I don't know how exactly it's gonna work, but yeah, now you can see we got this in there. We can type blah blah blah, put that guy, put that guy. We can change the colors, do that, you know, so on and so forth. We can get rid of them. It works as expected. Now the thing is obviously those don't look like Twitters, and that's an issue. So what I'm thinking is we have a paragraph tag that we one second. Then we have a paragraph tag that we somehow overlay on top the text area, right? So like a p tag with a class name equal to feed dash post creator dash post content, something like that. And this is going to be dynamically created because we want the image of the GIF instead of, or the image of the whatever instead of the other thing. And then basically here, wherever this feed post creator input is, let's hop into there. So let's find this feed post creator input. So here, basically, we have a font size 20, but our color will be like transparent, so you can't actually see the text. And so if we type, you can see nothing really pops up, right? But it's there. So the idea would be we have this paragraph tag, and we can do the same thing we did here, where we have this value proposition here. So value is equal to this, and we don't really need this value here currently. So let's see if we can comment this out really quick. We don't really need this value here, right? Because it's not an issue. I guess it is going to be an issue. Okay. But now basically, if there's a post and there's content, when we start typing, you can see that it's there, right? Now the thing is though, this is also not great, but you can see that it's not really over top of it. So we need to move it so that we can have this right over top, have the same exact size, everything like that. Which should be pretty easy because we already have the input size. We do want to resize, so we know that the font size is 20, right? And I guess we don't really care about background color, but since we know the font size is 20 pixels, and we should be able to, we should know, we should also know how big it is from like how big the text box is. So we should make the width equal to that. If I could click on the right thing. So wherever our input is, I guess I don't know how big the width is. Width is probably just as wide as whatever that is. It looks like, I guess I don't know how wide that is. We could figure out how wide that text box is pretty easily. So let's go ahead and deal with this. So let's go ahead. So we already put the post content on here. So let's copy this and let's come back in here. Now the other issue is going to be making sure it goes in the right spot. So that'll be interesting. So I'll probably put a background on it as well. So let's put a background color of like blue. I want it to be like outrageous so we can see how big it is basically. And the font size will be 20px, just like this one. Okay. And then the position should be absolute, I believe. And we might need to wrap this again to kind of make it work the way that I want. That might have done what I wanted, just like that. So if the question is, so if we go ahead and type in here, yeah, so the thing is we want this to be a width of however long that is, and we're pretty darn close to what we want already. So let's go ahead and see how wide this text element is, if we can. So here's the text area. So our text area is 300 or 507.333. That's strange. So the width of this guy should be 507. Okay, and then we need like break word or something like that. Let's see here. CSS break up word instead of going out of box. So we want a wrap text basically. We don't want overflow hidden. There's min content. So we want overflow wrap break word. Or we want break all. We want break all. So we're gonna go ahead and grab break all, and we'll see if this helps. So word break all, and we also might want overflow wrap. Well, let's see what this looks like. Yeah, see, this was what I was worried about, is that now we can't actually get the stuff that we want. But this is working. We don't need the background color. So now the issue is that when we try to highlight, nothing happens. What we could possibly do is make this font like ever so slightly bigger. That way it's offset a little bit maybe. So now, okay, still doesn't work. It looked like we had it, because See, this is the other issue, and why I was maybe thinking that we would just do a custom key tag. The other issue is we cannot see the whatever it's called, CSS text area. What is that called? It's not a cursor. Indicator. Let's see. Not scroll bar. That's not what I want. I want the here. Insertion symbol, blank interval. Although it looks like we could do it that way. The only issue would be, so I think I'm going to start leaning towards doing a custom whatever. Although here's the thing. Whenever, maybe we still need value inside this. On change is auto grow, and what happens in auto grow? Let's see what auto grow does. Does auto grow dispatch? Auto grow does dispatch the value. So it should be changing. So I'm thinking maybe I call it early and I do a little bit of research into creating a custom paragraph that acts similar to like a text area, and then we basically create a custom text area that obviously auto grows. We can figure out the placeholder and a couple other things, because the thing is I don't really have, I'm gonna have 30 minutes and I'm looking at how to do the blink interval right now, which doesn't seem too bad. So I'm wondering if we come in here, and I kind of do want to go ahead and refactor a lot of this stuff, but I know I'm not going to. Feed post creator post content box maybe, and then new file feed post creator post content box tsx, and a new file feed post creator post content box.tsx or css. I feel bad for not getting too much done, so I do want to go ahead and I guess work on this for a little bit here, and import the css. So import dot slash feed post creator and post content box.css. So the easy part, export const feed post creator post content box, say react.fc fc, and return a, do I want to return a div, or I'm going to return a p tag for now. So here's the thing. The easy part is going to be typing in this, right? Because we can literally just add a on mouse down or on key down equal to, let's just set up a easy function here. Const state, or we'll say, let's grab a use state as well. Use state, let's just set up something very simple. So const content and set content is equal to use state, and then this will be a string and then empty. And then what we'll do is inside here, inside the p tag, we can basically do this, and there's going to be some other stuff we have to do obviously. Shoot, the issue is going to be we're going to need to like set it active, and I don't think you can focus on this. On focus, let's try to focus as well. Let's first try to focus. So let's just say const focus on p tag, right? We'll do this, and then what we'll do is we'll just say console.log focus, right? And then we'll focus on p tag here, and then here we'll have content question mark. If there's content, we'll have the content. Otherwise, what does Twitter say? Twitter says what is happening. So what is happening? So that'll be like our placeholder, right? And it's gonna look really ugly right now, but let's go ahead and do this and this. Again, I don't want to delete this yet. I'm going to keep it in here for now until we get this figured out. There we go. And then we'll bring in our p tag. So instead of having this here, we'll have a feed post creator, and we call this post content box. Doesn't have anything inside of it right now. And if we come in here, it does say what is happening. Can we click on this? Let's go to console and let's clear the console. Yeah, so we can't focus on it, so that's no good. We could say because that's going to be the other issue, is so we're not going to be able to capture key events, right? Now that I think about it, because even if we have an const on key down, even if we have an on key down, or we'll say handle key down equal to this, then console.log key pressed. We don't have the key because I have the event. That's fine. And we can say on the problem is going to be this handle key down. It's not going to know that we keyed down on this unless we're hovering over, I think. Because right now, as you can see, nothing happens. Nothing happens. So that's the issue. We need a way to be able to obviously click on it. Then once we click on it, it starts listening to key events somehow. Or like the whole page listens to key events or something of that sort, right? Except we almost do need like a we almost still need some way of I'm not sure how we're going to tackle this, because we can click on it, but whenever we click on it, we almost have to put a okay, this is kind of silly, but we can add an on key down listener to this whole page, which is really stupid. But we could say, whenever we click on this, so let's say on click, we need to make sure that we click on register listener or something, and we'll need to figure out when we click off of it so we're not typing forever, which would be another challenge. Const register key listener. So we could either add it to the feed page itself, or we could add it to like the HTML, because we have root, right? So we could literally say like let root equal to document dot get element by ID, and we could literally say pound root, and we could say, this is really stupid to do this, root dot add event listener. We're gonna listen to key down, and then we can do this for now, console.log, and then we'll say key pressed after clicking p tag, right? And then we'd obviously need some way to remove this listener whenever we click somewhere outside or do something, right? Click on this. Okay, it still didn't work. Let's console.log. Clicked on the p tag. Let's make sure this is working. Unless you're not allowed to add an event listener to root. So that's definitely working. Let's console.log root. Maybe it's not called root, and maybe I just didn't get anything. Or it just doesn't work because they know it'd be stupid to... Okay, root is null. I swear it's called root. Get element by ID. Oh, you know what? I'm just stupid, and it's getting a little bit late. Of course, that's not going to work. You don't want the pound. You just want root because you're getting it by the ID. Now does my horrible idea work? So it did get it, but it's not adding the event listener. Key down. Show console.log. I think that should be able to do that. Click this. Yeah, key down is not working. You're not gonna be able to see any on click there. It's not gonna be in here because it's not gonna change. Interesting. So I guess that's not gonna work. I really thought that would work. Let's see if we do add it to, let's see. I want to see what happens if we add it to like the app.tsx, right? I don't know where I put it at because none of these are allowed to do that. Maybe I go into landing page. I'm just curious now to see if, or actually let's go into home because that's where we're at. So pages, home, and then I'm gonna go to the top level div of home, and on key down, I want a console.log key pressed. Let's see if this does anything. Console. So that doesn't do anything either. So I'm gonna do some research. Make paragraph act like input. I don't know if this is possible, I guess. Which stinks. Although we might be able to do it with a div. Does div have a I don't think div has a focus, does it? What if we change... Here's another option. Come back into our content box. What if we change this to a div? And div... I don't think you can focus on a div, but we can try on focus. Let's try to focus on the div. This might not work either, and we might need to go back to the drawing board, figure out how to... Yeah, that doesn't focus either. Trying to think. There's probably a way to do it, but I'm not sure. I'm probably going to play around with it quite a bit. The other option still stands. The only issue is I can't get access to it. Although what I might be able to do is this. So let's come back in here. This is why I didn't delete this. Well, I went to the wrong part. That's why I didn't delete this. Let's undo this. Let's keep that. Let's bring this back. And what if I do this? What if I make this background transparent and make this feed post creator behind it? So that's something I can try as well. So input background color, it's currently transparent white. Let's make it transparent so we can see through it. And then post content, let's do a z index of like -10. And then this one, I don't think we can put a z index on this, but we can like try to put 100 or something. I don't think it'll allow us to do that. We can type. Okay. It worked. That did what we expected. Hello, my friends. Here is an emoji. Ooh. Why did that get rid of the emoji? Is it because I'm overriding it? I don't think the emoji's inside of there. Although it should be, right? Because this is, if we go back to our feed post creator, it's displaying, we took the value out. I think we need to put the value back in and do this. That way, whenever we are typing in there, it's not breaking it. Whenever we, so it doesn't get rid of the emojis. So there's a small delay on it. So I don't think there's anything we can do about the delay. So we click on this. Click on this. Hello, we are still typing. It is working just fine, as you can see. So I think this is the route that we go. This isn't the right. Now the thing is, as you can see, it doesn't line up perfectly. So, well, it also doesn't line up perfectly because we changed the font size, right? So we go back into the CSS and we'll have to delete these two files. We don't care about those. Change this to 21 instead of 20 and do that. And let's change the font weight because the font weight's different and I don't see a background color. So now it's just slightly off. So I wonder if we could either A, make the highlight text transparent. Let's see here. CSS text area, highlight font color. Highlight text inside of a text area. I don't think that's not what I mean. That's not what I want either. That's the style. Background color black. So it might be the selection. So let's try : selection on this. So we come back in here and dot feed post creator input : selection color transparent. Whoops. Okay, that's not quite what I wanted. That's like the actual like color of the selection. So weird. So I guess we need background color. But I don't know what the background color is supposed to be, so that's scary. Hopefully that's not the right background color. Color transparent. Well, that's not quite what we want. CSS highlight. Actually, we'll say color of highlighted text HTML. This isn't going to help me. I don't want to change the color. I just want to know what the original color is. Like, is there a way to do a default here? Because I don't want it overridden. I don't think default is an option. Maybe default is an option. It's definitely not an option. Okay. It's kind of being weird too. RGBA. What is this? I don't know what color this is. It's blue. Sure. What does this look like? It's not the right color. I almost need to like open this up, go to Google, although this is in dark mode, so that's not gonna help me. Shoot. I don't know how to do that. I guess what we could do is we could get rid of this for a second. We could do a color picker. Do I have the Windows power tools? I don't remember what they're called. Windows Store. It's like Power User Tools or something. Or is it called Dev Toys? Might be called Dev Toys. Let's try Dev Toys. I could. There we go. I'm pretty sure there's a color picker. Yeah, color picker. And then can I do this? I was really hoping I could pick a color by... Dang it. Okay, well, we're gonna, I guess, take a screenshot really quick of what the default looks like. And then we're going to snipping. Get this ready. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. Yeah, because it's the wrong color. Gosh darn it. It's gonna be impossible. What is the color value of highlighted text on the web? Does not help me. I don't know that I'm gonna be able to get this to work how I want. Because I want it to be the same, but I don't want to be able to see the tiny difference. And I feel like no, that's the text size. I could move it down a little bit, but I don't know if that's gonna help. Because it looks like it might just need to move down and to the left. But again, I don't know that that's gonna help any. It's already positioned absolute, so like, I don't know like what you'd even do, like top 1px. See, now it's gone, right? So I don't really want to go that direction. Like, I'm pretty happy with the way this looks. The problem is just the selection. That's not what I want. Google. I mean, this might be a question for ChatGPT, but when you highlight text on the web, what is the default color of the highlight? What is this? Oh, I might have found it. I might have found it. That doesn't quite look right, but I'm gonna say whatever. And it might be slightly different just because of the fact that Oh no, that doesn't look right, like the right color. Although they just updated it though. So yeah, let's try this. I think we might have found it. Someone on Stack Overflow posted this. Whoops. And if it's not perfect, it is what it is. This should definitely be darker. It's not quite dark enough. And none of these, Internet Explorer is a little bit darker. But that's still not quite dark enough. That's closer, but it's not quite what we want. We could always... It needs to be darker for sure. What if we do like that? Let's see what this looks like. Still needs to be darker. It's darker, and I guess it turns it to white whenever you highlight. This one doesn't though. So let's make it even darker. We're getting sidetracked. But it is what it is. What does this color look like? Still not dark enough. Still needs to be blue though. Doesn't... Oh, I'm not saving. I was gonna say, it doesn't seem like it's changing. It's because I'm not saving it. Okay, that's obviously too dark now because I didn't save. I'm thinking like here. Okay, still too dark. And it needs to be more blue. Let's try that. This is just riveting content, I know. Okay, it needs to be brighter blue. So I'm thinking we move this guy down. Try that. That's purple. I'm never gonna get this. I could print screen, although I don't know what print screen is on my keyboard. But yeah, basically what we want is we want to be able to highlight this guy. That's the closest I've gotten. It says this is very slightly, for example, Windows default color is this according to some sources. Let's see. All right, this is my last attempt here before probably call it. That's way too light. I can tell right now. That is way too light. It needs to be quite a bit darker than that. See if the color selector that I was hoping was in the other program worked. It wouldn't have been an issue. But I think we're gonna wrap it up there. We're getting there because we can delete. We need a blinker, obviously. So that's something else that I'm gonna look into as well. Because the blinker is not quite working either. For now, I guess we'll just go. I think this one was the darkest that I saw, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this in just for the time being, and then that looks like the same color actually. And then I guess if we can go back in the dev toys, we can probably convert this. I'm wondering, converter, color picker, and contrast. Okay, never mind. We can't convert it. That's no fun. Oh, yes, we can. Here we go. 51. Let's see. RGBA. 51. 153. And 255. I'll work on getting a better screenshot eventually, and getting the actual color, because this is still going to be not the right color, but it's something. And honestly, we might just leave it as this, because I think this is probably fine. It's not quite as dark as Brave's browser, but you get the memo. And I think honestly, all we gotta do now is make it so that instead of having this guy, what it's gonna do is we're gonna have a span there basically. So we need to make a converter method, and that's what I was hoping I'd get to in this stream, but unfortunately we just don't have time. So next week what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna take this right here, and we're gonna put it into a converter that will get the image, and then put the image here, and then we'll also want to do vice versa. So that'll be, I guess, so we don't have to do vice versa because we'll also have the content. But that's gonna be it for this stream, this episode. Appreciate everyone that stopped by, dropped a like, so on and so forth. I know at the end it kind of trailed off a little bit, but it is what it is. Sometimes we get more done than other times. So appreciate you all, and I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream.